Alrighty guys, what is up? It's your boy TRUEDBZMaster back with another video, and today I'm going to be going over my top 5 winners of the latest Dragon Ball FighterZ patch number 1.31. So I actually recorded my losers video actually before this, but this video is coming out a day before that one. But in that video I actually didn't have an honorable mention. But today I actually have one because a lot of characters did get buffed in this patch, so I kind of felt like I needed to talk about this character in particular. But everybody else in the top 5 is pretty cemented and I feel really strongly about. So with that being said guys, let's go into the honorable mention. Okay, the honorable mention goes to Master Roshi. So Master Roshi did get a lot of buffs in this patch. I was kind of hoping they would address the Roshi B and Roshi A situation, but they didn't buff any of his assists, but they actually made him a really strong point character. So I'm just gonna go through all of his buffs and then yeah. So the first buff is they actually made standing heavy faster. So now that this is faster, it actually isn't a frame trap anymore. Now the reason why I say this is a buff, because now oops. Whoops, I messed up. Dang it. There we go. So now from medium buttons, it is a true block string. Now I believe, yes, from light strings, it's still a frame trap, which can be good. But usually when, when you're block stringing with Roshi and you commit to your medium buttons, you really had no choice but to do Wise Warrior, which is his tackle move, or do his splitting kicks. But now you can actually go straight into 5H, and so now you're a lot further, and I don't really have the assist for it, but either way, this is a true block string now for medium buttons, which is a really good buff. You can still frame trap with light attacks, which can set up like DR situations. If they're expecting you to tick the row, you can just do that. So you still have the option to do that, but for medium buttons it's a true string now, so that makes his pressure even more stronger. His jump to heavy actually has more hit stun when it doesn't your smash attack. So for example, for combos like this, so back then in the other patch you wouldn't be able to do that. You would have to end with JS, but now pretty much in any combo in the corner you can end with 2H and then 2M. So JS is for mid screen, and then for the corner you want to use J2H. So that was a good meaningful buff as well. Next, he has more hit stun on his Kamehameha move, which is this guy right here. So if you actually combo, stuff like that. Actually messed up the combo. I actually don't know how to end it. I haven't been playing Roshi since patch dropped. You do something like that. So Roshi now has a ton more damage thanks to this. The patch said he can cancel his super dash from beam, but I haven't been able to find any combos with this at all. So if anybody wants to go into that, like, I haven't been able to find anything. So if any Master Roshi players want to figure that out, then by all means you figure it out. The next buff he got was to his jumping splits. So these, with an addition to being low crushes, actually anti-airs now. So if I record Roshi to instant air dash me, I gotta make him guard first. So if I have Roshi guard, and now look, the game even says it's an anti-air now. So well, that didn't count as an anti-air because he got hit crossed up. But yeah, you guys get the point. This is really good for his EX one in particular, because he can combo off of it, and I believe it's a medium starter as well. So yeah, there you go. So now, Roshi has an actual really good anti-air. His 2H wasn't like terrible, but you know, to the range it wasn't that great, and Roshi backs up when he does it. But now he has a double hitting, you know, anti-air. And you can choose which way he moves. But his EX one is going to be the most prevalent one because he doesn't move and it hits on both sides. So that was a really good buff. And then the last buff is his reverse Kamehameha can now be cancelled into special moves. So this is really important for corner combos. So if you're comboing with Roshi like this, so if we do something like this, oops, I messed up, I'm sorry. Anyway, so if you're doing a combo like this, I'm just gonna do a simple one. So now you can cancel reverse Kamehameha when the beam actually hits the opponent. So, as you can see, when the beam hits the opponent, I can cancel into that. I can cancel into that. That's actually his only aerial ones, but it's mostly important for this. So, now you can, if you use your super dash or your reverse Kamehameha, you know, if you're too much a hit stun and you can't get this version of the Kamehameha in your combo, you can just go the other way and then cancel into J2M. And it actually does more damage than doing this into J2M. So overall, Roshi got some really good buffs. His damage is pretty much higher than ever before. He still has, you know, some okay mix options. They didn't really buff this. I was hoping they would make this a little bit more faster. But, you know, he still has his float from his 2S here. So he still has that mix up. Like I said, he still has this. You know, he has this into assist. So you can fool around with that. He still has this move. So Roshi overall is a really good point character. And his assists are okay, you know. I wish they would touch up his assists, but you know, you win some, you lose some, but that's why I have him as an honorable mention, because he did get some good buffs, but I feel like they could have touched up his assists a little bit more. Alright, now we're going on to the top 5. So number 5, we have Hit. So Hit got some very good buffs this patch. For starters, his 5L is actually 0 on block now, and with that being said, he has a 6 frame jab. So his jab was always 6 frames, but now that it's 0 on block, his stagger game is really good. Like he can do this into each other, and he's still 0. So like you cannot match this character because he has a 6 frame jab. If it was 7 frames, you would have like a 1 frame gap if you had a 6 frame. But since he has a 6 frame jab, his DR, his stances are just way crazier to deal with, and you know, just this buff alone would have changed Hit for a lot of characters in terms of like matchups. But now he's just even more stronger than ever before. And with that being said, going on to his normals, his actual 5H actually jails now. So if I have Hit mash on me again, so he's gonna mash. If I go light, medium, heavy, it's now a true string. Last patch, there was a gap here, but now it's a full gap. So, you know, that's a good buff. And it even goes into light. So if you do light, heavy, that's a real string. Light, medium, heavy, and all that good jazz. So now he has a real optimal block string. So that's really good. But the thing that really makes this character like Omega buffed as crack is that literally every single one of his stances has reduced recovery. So this has reduced recovery, this has reduced recovery, this has reduced recovery, this has reduced recovery, or there we go. This has reduced recovery, this has reduced recovery, This has reduced recovery. This has it. This has it. This has it. Like, literally every single stance has reduced recovery. So not only did these get lower recovery, these get lower recovery, which means he can actually, like, left-right mix you like Omega crazy now. You do stuff like that, so, you know, he's even more of a threat than he was before. But like now with the reduced recovery on these, on these stances, he can actually get auto combo loops. But I'm not gonna do them because I don't know how to play hit, so I'm not gonna, you know, spend like 10 minutes trying to figure it out. But anyway, you just trust me, he has loops now with this less recovery on his stances, and so now his combo game is a lot stronger as well. So hit really got some really substantial buffs. You know, this being safe on block changes a lot, because even if hit is wrong and you block it, he's still safe. So unless you're just gonna drag and rush your opponent after you block it because you know they're gonna block, it's like you can't really do anything to stop him because he's invincible here, he's invincible here, this is fully invincible, like, and you can do it from any one of his stances. So you can do it from light, you can do it from medium, and you can do it from heavy. So it's like, this boy is just an invincible wall when it comes to like his left-right stuff. So hit really got some really good buffs. So that's why I have him as number 5. Alright, number 4, we have Adult Gohan. So Adult Gohan got some really good buffs as well. I feel like he was already strong as is, but they just made him just Omega good now. So he just got some general overall changes. His 2L is now faster. So it is 7 frames, and it's still 0 on block like it was in the last patch. So this is a really good stagger tool as well. And I believe it's actually an optimal combo tool in some of his loops now. So, you know, that's a good buff. His 5M has increased distance. So now it's pretty much like Gogeta's 5M, or Gogeta's 5M. So he has a really good long range button now. His JS and 2S are faster on startup. So this guy right here, this is faster on startup, and the air version has better movement. So now it pushes him farther, and it has reduced recovery. So if you whiff this or the opponent super dashes, you can actually block afterwards. So they made this a really good neutral tool, and also it's also kind of better for combos as well for the grounded version. So this got buffed. Next is his DP is this guy. His DP actually got faster on startup, and it has more hit stun, and it has increased distance. So they really made this thing better. So it goes further now. It has more hit stun. Oops. Actually make the opponent stop blocking. There. This has more hit stun, and then it is also faster. So I actually don't know how to combo into this, but I'm pretty sure he has like loops with this or something like that. Like I said, I don't play Adult Gohan, so, you know, just like with hit, I'm not gonna spend a lot of time, but trust me, he has DP loops. So you can pretty much go on Twitter and find them, because that's literally all people have been doing with this character. But yeah, he has loops with his light DP now, so that increases damage a lot. His Masenko, which is his core circle forward S, can actually be super dashable now. So if you do something like this, and then bam, he gets a combo off his beam. So that's a good buff. A lot of characters got that buff as well. And then the final buff I'm going to be talking about is now he can actually get all 7 levels in one combo. So back then, you were in the last patch, you were only able to get up to 5 levels in one combo, but now you can go all the way. So if we have character settings, so I'm going to set them back to 0. So now I'm going to do the classic Dragon Ball B&B, and then now I'm going to go all the way to level 7. And the damage on it is pretty insane. So now you can combo straight into level 7, and then he has reverse beat and makes him one of the best characters in the game. So yeah, that is Gohan. So I feel like overall Gohan got some really good changes. I feel like they could have touched up on his assists as well, but honestly, him as a point character is just so good, and I feel like most people already know how to use his DP, and also his C assist, which is his beam, is also pretty good as well. So, you know, it's Gohan's pretty good, Number 3 on my list is Cooler. So Cooler also got some good buffs. So he got some good quality of life stuff with 5L getting increased distance. So now he's going to be able to jab people a lot more confidently now. It being 6 frames also is a good thing. So, you know, he has a really good jab now. 5M is actually faster now. So it is 10 frames. So it links up with a lot of other characters' 5M. And it's also really good at distance, you know. So it's really good that I got this speed buff. So now he's going to be able to anti-reflect a lot better and also challenge characters a lot more confidently. The next buff he got was the increased distance to 5H. So now he goes a lot further, pretty much full screen. I would say about like 3/4 of the way. So around here, he can actually combo, and then bam, and sayonara. So that's a really good buff. This is going to be really good for his anti-reflex. So reflecting this character is going to be a lot more tougher because, you know, 5L has increased distance. This is faster. This goes further. So Cooler is going to be able to stay in a lot more confidently, I would say. 5S got faster, so I guess it's a better combo tool. I don't really see Coolers use 5S as an actual neutral tool, but I'm just gonna assume it's just a lot better for that. You know, you can do stuff like that. So I guess it's a buff. I don't really know what Cooler players use 5S other than in combos, so I'm just gonna assume it's just a better combo tool. The next buff he got was his beam. So just like with Adult Gohan, he can actually super dash off his beam now, and so he has combos with his beam. Actually, I used super dash already. Let me do this. So now he gets this, and there you go. So now he can actually get way more powerful combos thanks to this buff. So Cooler will actually be able to hurt you when he combos you. And then the last buff we have is his new OTG, which is this guy right here. This is his Percival back S move. So if you're doing a 2H combo and you end with jumping heavy, you can actually OTG now. He can't do this off a dive kick, which is actually kind of disappointing. I was hoping he would at least be able to do this from EX dive kick, but he can't. And then also he can't do it from DP as well, because they recover too fast. So I feel like this is going to be really good for characters with tagging as a main component. So if I do something like this with Janemba, so like this, and then bam, oops, and then you guys get the gist. I'm not really good with any of these characters on this team, so, you know, just bear in mind. So you do stuff like that, DR, bam, and then super afterwards. So Cooler got some really good buffs. I think the strongest tool he got was this OTG, because even after you finish your combo, you know, with certain characters, they can actually do even more. So with Broly, you can do this, and then you can go bam, 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 and then level 3. So Cooler's damage is, especially with you know, tag characters like Broly, Super Saiyan Vegeta, Blue Vegeta, like anyone who can get like sliding knockdowns like on their own is going to be really buffed by this OTG. So I feel like Cooler himself got some pretty good buffs, but I feel like he's going to be a lot better of a support character because of this OTG. And I'm kind of excited to see where Cooler ends up, because I've always liked Cooler, so seeing him get some really cool and unique things that he can do for other characters is going to be really fun to watch. Number 2 on my list goes to Yamcha. So Yamcha is pretty much a brand new character. Like, this character is pretty much like had the biggest blow up in terms of, you know, going from a low tier to a pretty confident mid tier to high tier character. I will talk about why he's number 2, but I feel like the character above him got even stronger than he already was. But anyway, Yamcha got some good quality of life stuff. So now he has a 4L now, so he can do 4L, so that's good. He also got some changes to his 2H. So 2H can now be cancelled into his J2H, which is really good for pressure. So you do stuff like this, and then go straight into the Wolfang Fist for pressure. So he got some good buffs there. So this is where we get really good. So his dive kick also got some special properties. So if you're comboing with Yamcha, please be mindful, I am not a Yamcha main anymore. So yeah. So dive kick can now be cancelled into Wolfang Fist. It can also be cancelled into 5S and then 5H. I haven't seen any combos where 5H is actually used, but I've seen tons of combos where you use Wolfang Fist. So like I said, you can do stuff like this, and then end combos like that. You can also do this before the smash. So you do something like this. Oops. Do stuff like that, and then end your combo like this. So, you know, that's a really good buff, but it goes even further. So both of his fake Wolfang Fist, so the game calls it Wolfang Fist Whiskers and Tail, but it's basically Yamcha's ability to go through the opponent or fake out. So all of these fakes, the Whiskers and Tail, can now be done twice. So as you can see, I'm doing the dash back 2 times. So if you think the opponent's gonna actually block your mix-up, you can actually get away really fast. And it also works the same way with, you know, his other one. So now he can do stuff like this. So, and then do that. So Yamcha got some really good mix-up tools now. It is pretty reactable, but it's good that he has a way to get out of it if you think the opponent's going to actually, you know, bait you out with like reflect or something like that. So that's a really good buff. The next buff is that fact that he can now cancel his Kamehameha both into Super Dash and from Wolfang Fist. So I really hope I don't drop this combo. So if I do something like this, oops, I'm sorry, I'm not a Yamcha main. I have no idea how you do this, but trust me, as you can see, the cancel window is there, right? So as you can see, he can still cancel, I just don't know how to combo into it. But as you can see, he can cancel his Kamehameha, and then he can also super dash from it. So he can do stuff like this. You know, I'm not a Yamcha main, I'm very sorry. But you guys get the point. Yamcha has pretty much gotten like a major damage buff. And then the final buff he got was to his level 3. So his level 3 now goes faster across the screen, and it has increased startup. So now you won't drop your combos, like for example, you won't drop it when doing something like this and they're full screen. Now he'll always catch the opponent. So that's a good quality of life buff. The only reason why I have Yamcha as number 2 is because his neutral can be a problem as well. They didn't really fix that problem. His Wolfang Fist does go full screen, yeah, but if your opponent is jumping, then your opponent can punish you, if I can actually make him whiff. So yeah, Yamcha has some pretty bad recovery when whiffing this. So his neutral does lack a little bit, at least in terms of other characters that have really fast lariats. But, you know, you can still combo off of it. So if you hit it from like that range, now Yamcha gets this. You know, I'm really bad at it. So, you know, Yamcha does get a huge damage buff whenever he's right. So, you know, if you're trying to pressure your opponent, you know, go cross up Wolfang. Anyway, you guys get the point. Yamcha's damage is pretty much solved now. Yamcha actually does really good damage. And then, like I said, his neutral is the only thing being a problem in this game, which is completely fine. You know, not every character has to be a freaking menace anywhere on screen, but it is a point of, you know, a weakness of Yamcha. So that's the only reason why I have him as number 2. But now he does damage, his mix-ups are good, and he has really good assists now. Or, he had really good assists. It's just that him as a point character was lacking. So, but that is Yamcha. I really think Yamcha's a really strong character, and I can't wait to see what people come up with, and then also see him in some actual tournaments, because I miss my boy Yamcha. So, you know, Yamcha's back. And the number 1 spot goes to Android 16. So, unlike with Yamcha, 16 was already a good character in my opinion, but now they just made him like really, really good now. So, he did get some quality of life stuff. His 5L got increased distance, so now he's going to be able to jab more confidently now. So, he has a 7 framer, so this is a really good buff for on the slower side of jabs, so this is good. His auto combo got some distance buffs, so now he goes further, so that was really good. So I'm pretty sure this is going to help out his combos a lot as well, you know, for like vanish stuff, you know, do something like that. So that helped out a lot. 5M got reduced recovery, so now I'm pretty sure it is safe on block. Oops. There we go. So now it's -4 on block now. I should have just set it to that. So now he has a safe medium button. Instead of, you know, all of his mediums being non-safe, he has an actual safe button now. His J2H actually is faster, so that he sped this guy up. And then now he can actually combo with it after Super Dash. So if you're doing a combo like this, you know, he can basically do the same thing that Gogeta Blue does from his dive kick. So I'm not gonna, like I said, with Hit and Yamcha, I'm not gonna go too in depth because I don't know how to play 16. But trust me, this link actually works. I don't know how it works, but you know, he actually gets extensions. And the thing is that after that extension, he can end his combo like this. So he can always get a sliding knockdown now, instead of using, you know, one of these grabs. Oops. One of these grabs to end his combos, and then, you know, your opponent air teching, or you spend vanish to get the knockdown. You know, you do something like this after vanish to get the slide knockdown. So now he can get that at any point thanks to this this 2H buff. I don't know how this thing works, but trust me, he can do it. 5S is actually faster now, so now his neutral is a lot stronger now. So as you can see, and it kind of tracks the opponent as well. So this is a really good buff because like his neutral was already pretty okay, but now it's like actually a threat now because he can pretty much snipe you with these now. But then his air ones are pretty much the exact same, but his standing ones are just really good now, so his neutral is even better than before. This move is actually reduced recovery, so I have no idea what this does. I'm pretty sure this one was already plus, so I don't know what they did to it. Yeah, so it's like it was already plus, so I'm just gonna assume they made it more plus. I'm just gonna assume that they made this less plus or more plus than before. This one was always negative. I don't know if this was negative, always -1, but the patch notes said that this move had reduced recovery. So I don't know if this is applied to both versions. But you know, this being +8 and this being -1 is pretty cracked in terms of like a staggering tool, especially this guy being +8, bro. I don't think there's a single plus move other than Bardock's Tyrant Lancer that's even close to this amount of plus frames. So this is a really good buff. And then the last thing is 16's A assist is actually faster. So, you know, with 26 box done and 22 startup, his AS is looking pretty good now. So, like I said, the reason why 16 is here is because he was already a good character, and now he's actually a pretty big threat now. You know, with him having command grabs, he has a 2L low, right? So now he can mix and command grab you now. His neutral is not a problem because this is faster. He doesn't have a problem getting sliding knockdowns anymore because this got buffed. His assists are good. You know, his A assist got buffed. And then he still has his B assist. Don't forget that. He still has this assist. Like, and this is one of the best assists in the game. So like 16 literally went from like a mid-tier character to maybe even a top tier. Like, and I'm not even capping on that. I can actually see this character being a top tier character now. So we're gonna see how the game develops over time. But I do think that all 6 of these characters are gonna get a lot more play in the meta because, you know, it pretty much solves most of their problems. So with that being said, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit that like button and comment down some things about these characters I might not have mentioned. Or do you think there's characters that should have been on this list, maybe as an honorable mention, or maybe an actual number on the list? Please be sure to subscribe for more content in the future, and if you guys enjoy content like this, please let me know. I'd love to hear what you guys suggest I tackle next. So without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next video. Sayonara.